Russia's interference in the 2016 election and the ongoing investigations top new reports about spying and intelligence gathering. But state-sponsored espionage threatens much more than the political system. This week, Politico magazine's cover story focuses on China and Russia's attempts to infiltrate Silicon Valley. Joining us now from San Francisco is the author of that article, Zach Dorfman, who is a senior fellow at the Carnegie Council for Ethics in International Affairs. So tell us, how is this espionage, this spying happening in Silicon Valley?
According to conversations I had with multiple former U.S. intelligence community officials, the espionage seen in Silicon Valley and San Francisco is a little bit different than what you generally associate it with in terms of Washington and New York in particular. In fact, in San Francisco, it tends to be a little bit more informal or casual, probably befitting, given Silicon Valley's culture. And what you see is more theft of technologies, both with military and simply civilian applications, in major tech firms as well as startups. And part of this has to do with their larger story of economic competitiveness between especially the United States and China.
So is this about turning individual employees at a company, or is this about pretending to be investors?
It's actually both. So what you have is intelligence officers who go to Silicon Valley or are based in Silicon Valley who speak to other people in venture capital firms or in technology companies. You also have employees who are either motivated by money or sometimes, and particularly in the case of China, are being coerced at times to do this, because China has been known to go to people with family in China and tell them, for instance, that if they don't provide certain technology or even just click on a link in an email that allows for access to a computer system, that somebody's family will potentially lose their home or be subject to other kinds of repressive measures.
Is there any way that we've quantified the costs on this? I mean, what do our intelligence agencies think? How significant of a threat is this?
They consider it to be a very significant threat. In fact, FBI Director Christopher Wray, in recent remarks at the Aspen Security Forum, said that Chinese espionage was the greatest security threat facing the United States in the medium and long term. In terms of quantification, I don't have exact figures for you, but if you look at past examples of Chinese economic espionage, take for instance the case of Walter Liu, a Bay Area local who in 2014 was convicted of violations of the Economic Espionage Act. And what Mr. Liu did was he sold a proprietary formula owned by DuPont that makes the color white to a Chinese state-owned conglomerate, therefore saving that company hundreds of millions of dollars in research and development costs. So yeah, it's ubiquitous, it's highly costly, and in many cases, as I say in my Politico article, sometimes companies don't want to report it because they are worried about shareholder value or the embarrassment of not being able to maintain security over their intellectual property.
All right, Zach Dorfman, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Council for Ethics in International Affairs. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.